I was able to monetize my channel 6 months after I did what I am about to share with you today. However, I feel that it's important for me to also share that previous to this channel that you're watching this video on, I went into YouTube like many of us. And how is that? Well, we go into it thinking, okay, I'm just going to share my story, my life, my testimony. I want to help people. I want to encourage people. I want to inspire people. And that's all beautiful. But I noticed that the growth was not happening. It was very slow. It was and it took me like years, I think like 4 years maybe, to get to 500 subscribers. So I felt like, something's wrong. I felt like a failure. I'm like, maybe I should post more videos every day and I should just talk more about my life. And I realized after I stopped posting, although it was helpful, I was inspiring and encouraging women. I was sharing about my struggles and how I was overcoming certain hurdles in my marriage and healing trauma and things like that from my past, that it was good, but I felt like long term, I didn't want to just focus on trauma and struggles. So then I stopped I stopped investing my time on that channel. And then I started homeschooling, and that became something else that I was passionate about. And I started sharing our homeschool journey because a lot of families, they want to start homeschooling, or they've considered it, but haven't started and haven't tried. So I'm like, you know what? Let me share a little bit about what my lifestyle looks like, maybe curriculum and all that stuff. But all the while, I wasn't sharing one thing that people were already searching for. During this time, I'm a ghostwriter on Fiverr and Upwork, and I was writing books, I was ghostwriting, I was writing blogs, I was doing copy for businesses and nonprofits, and I was working on marketing materials and workshop materials, and I'm doing all these things, and yet there are people out there asking questions on YouTube like, how do you create an ebook on Canva? I was doing this on a regular. I would go to sleep at 4 or 5 in the morning, writing books for self-publishing authors that were coming brand new to Amazon, KDP, and others who were already seasoned self-publishing authors and had experienced some success. And I wasn't sharing anything that had to do with Canva or all the book designs and book covers and all the stuff that I was doing. The moment that I shared how to create, I think it was like an activity book or something like that, I started sharing how I create certain things. And it's funny because I would go to sleep sometimes at like 3, 4 in the morning just designing, just because I loved it and I find it therapeutic to just design different types of book covers, work with different like color contrasts and different elements. And I would spend so many nights researching different books, book ideas. And I had all these book ideas. I have like notebooks filled with all these book ideas that I would love to actually like work on. And all the while, I wasn't sharing this information, this knowledge with you guys on YouTube. So it's funny because the moment I started publishing books on Amazon KDP, I started posting all these ideas that were coming to me about book ideas that people can actually execute and publish themselves for their businesses or their nonprofits, whatever it is that they're doing. And I realized that, hey, there's growth here. Like, wow, I'm growing. I went from 130 subscribers because I had to completely change my strategy. So I was no longer putting up homeschooling content. And I went from 130 subscribers to 500 subscribers in like no time. And then I hit 1,000 subscribers. And a little bit after that, I continue to post videos on everything that I'm doing with Canva and self-publishing. And on March 6th of 2024, this year, after producing those videos on book ideas and all this stuff, I was finally monetized. And when I looked at my phone and I'm like, I literally cried. I cried. And then the next day I had like $1 and I was like, Like, this is like the best dollar that I've ever made online, aside from obviously the ghostwriting. But it was just, for me, it was so powerful because it's YouTube. You know, we're on this amazing platform. I've been trying to get monetized here on YouTube. I finally did it because I did this one thing. I shared my skills and I answered dumb questions. They're not really dumb questions, but they're very simple. How do you create an ebook? And I'm like, bro, I've been doing this every day for I don't know how long. And I'm like, okay, how do you create an ebook? How do you format a paperback book? How do you, like, all these things that I already know. So I'm asking you right now, what are the skills that you are not sharing with other people? I understand that you want to do vlogs. I understand that you want to share your life, your lifestyle, day in the life, and that's wonderful. But if you want to grow on YouTube, and this is what happened to me, and it can happen for you. If you want to grow on YouTube, you have to share what you know. Let me give you an example. I was speaking to a family member yesterday, having a great time, and she's like, I would like to be on YouTube, but I'm not an expert on XYZ, on Airbnb. I think she does property management or whatnot, and for Airbnbs. And I'm like, okay, you haven't been in the industry that long, but you were working with a company that had maybe 10 properties. And while you were there, you were able to increase their portfolio from 10 properties to 100. I mean, who does that? Like, how do you do that? How did you do it? That is the perfect YouTube title. How to go from 10 Airbnb properties to 100. I mean, that right there, just that alone, and answering 3 questions within that video. How did you do it? What were the steps that you took? And, what were the struggles and how to overcome them? There are tons of skills that we have, that we possess, that we're not sharing. How do you, if you're a painter, how do you draw a mural? How do you hand paint a mural without experience as a beginner? Where do you start? How to put on a portrait on the wall, and how do you use a drill? How to DIY a specific project, and you've done it or you do it constantly. How do you refurbish wood, cabinets, you name it. There are skills. It doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home mom and you feel like, okay, I don't have anything to give. Share what you know. How did you overcome X struggle? How do you keep the house organized? How do you plan your day? What are some productivity tips that you can give every stay-at-home mom? I mean, there are so many things that we can teach that people are already searching for. So you need to focus on answering simple questions. How to blank. How to clean your room or maintain a clean room. How to write poetry. The list could go on and on. And nowadays, we have ChatGPT. You can go ahead and describe who you are, what you're about, what your passions are, what your skills are, and then you ask ChatGPT based on this information about who I am. What are some valid topics or things that I can teach on YouTube? ChatGPT will give you a list. So the main focus, the big takeaway from this video is that no matter where you are in your YouTube journey, don't be afraid to pivot. Even if, like me, I started, the homeschooling channel and I loved it, but I'm like, let me just start sharing what I know. Let's see what happens. And boom. Now, today is what? The 26th of December. I just want to give you guys a big thank you because I just hit 10,000 subscribers. I am so grateful for your support, your words of encouragement, and it is just an overwhelming feeling. I would have never thought that I would have made it to 10,000 subscribers before the end of this year. Let alone, I would have never imagined that I was going to monetize my channel in March. And it was because of the work that I did last year. And with that in mind, go ahead and watch this video over here because this is something that is very important for you to know if you want to have a successful 2025 year. I hope this video was helpful and I'll see you there.